Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about how NASA put a car on the moon and it actually worked. My name is John, I'm a space enthusiast, and on this channel I bring you interesting stories in the world of space and tech, so let's get into it. When most people think about the Apollo missions, they imagine astronauts hopping around on the moon. NASA didn't just send astronauts to walk on the moon, they sent a car. And somehow, against all logic, it actually worked. So before Apollo 15, all of the astronauts are literally hopping around the moon in their spacesuits. So if anything went wrong, they literally had to walk back to the space capsule. And it could have been quite risky because if they got a tear or there was a leak in their suit, then there's big problems. But if you can get into a space car, it's a lot quicker. You can get back to safety. So NASA actually wanted astronauts to explore further. They wanted to collect more samples and visit more scientifically interesting areas. Walking just wasn't enough anymore. Introducing the Lunar Rover Vehicle. First introduced during Apollo 15 in 1971, the Lunar Roving Vehicle dramatically expanded how far astronauts could explore the moon, enabling them to travel over 35 kilometers across the lunar surface. That might not sound like much here on Earth, but on the moon, in a spacesuit, that's huge. The rover turned short moonwalks into full exploration missions. You might be asking, what made the rover so special? So first of all, it was fully electric. There's no engine, no fuel, just batteries, because obviously there's no petrol stations on the moon. It had four-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, and wire mesh wheels designed to grip loose lunar soil. It had a top speed which was about 13 kilometers an hour, which doesn't sound fast until you remember there's no suspension and there's low gravity. And even crazier, the entire rover was folded up and strapped to the side of the lunar module. The astronauts unfolded it themselves after landing. Basically, NASA trusted astronauts to assemble the car on the moon. So even though they had the lunar module, safety still came first, even on the moon. NASA also had a strict rule. The astronauts were never allowed to drive so far away that they couldn't actually walk back to the lunar module. So even with a car, the walking distance still mattered, which is comforting and slightly terrifying. The lunar rover was used on 3 separate missions: Apollo 15, Apollo 16 and Apollo 17. Each mission pushed exploration further. They gathered more samples, gave scientists a much better understanding of the moon, and then they just left the rovers there. So there's 3 moon cars still parked on the lunar surface. So some facts about the moon rover: it weighed in at 210 kilograms on Earth, but only about 35 kg on the moon. Engineers had to design it to survive temperatures from minus 130 degrees to 120 degrees. Thanks to the lunar rover, the astronauts didn't just walk around a small patch. They drove across huge distances and collected tons of rock. Apollo 15, they grabbed 370 samples. Apollo 16, whopping 731 samples. And Apollo 17, they brought back 741 samples. So in total, it's about nearly 1,900 lunar specimens from the rover missions alone. Yeah, another thing, if you think about it, these rovers that they sent up to the moon to drive around on were designed in the 60s. So there was a lot of tech going on back then, and you didn't have the computers you have today. Everything was very basic. There was no like Google, ChatGPT or anything. It was just good old-fashioned maths and engineering. So what are your thoughts on the Apollo missions when they finally got these rovers up there? I think it's pretty cool what they did. And it's nice that NASA were trying to push technology and everything they could do at the time. Okay, if you've liked this video, I've got other videos talking about space and tech. I've got one specific talking about the James Webb Space Telescope where I go through some of the cool images that's discovered. If you just want to keep up to date and follow the videos that I'm doing, then don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one, and take care.